Hey, sorry about that, guys. It seems that we had a little bit of internet trouble, but once again, we will kick things off with the price of the various models of the Moto G5 family that are available. You have the Moto G5, which is priced at 11,999. The Moto G5S, which is the new phone which comes with 4GB RAM and 32GB of storage, which is priced at 13,999. Then you have the older Moto G5 Plus with 4GB of RAM and 32GB of storage, priced at 14,999. And then you have the Moto G5S Plus, which is priced at 15,999. And as always, Motorola does have a bunch of offers that it gives when a new phone is launched. As a part of the launch offer for the Moto G5S family, be it the Plus or the G5S, you get an extra 1,000 rupees off on exchanging your old Moto phone. You have a no-cost EMI for all credit cards. You can buy the Moto Sports headphones at 499 rupees instead of their selling price, which is 1599. That's 1,599 rupees. You get 80% off, up to a maximum of 300 rupees on Amazon Kindle apps, and Jio users get 50 GB of data more on their Jio phone. So that's the introductory offer of picking up the Moto G5S or the G5S Plus. Now, coming to the specs, this one, which is the G5S Plus, has a 5.5-inch 1080p display. It's a Gorilla Glass 3 protection on top. The pixel density is 401 ppi. It's running on Android 7.1 Nougat out of the box. No skin. It's almost close stock Android what you're getting on this device. The front has a bumped up 8 megapixel camera. You have 4GB RAM, 64GB storage, and the rear has the dual camera setup, which we will get to in a second. And the entire package is powered by a non-removable battery, which is 3000 mAh. So there you have it. And of course, the SoC is the Snapdragon 625, which is also the same as its predecessor. And Sahib, no, this is not a giveaway how I wish it were. So, okay, great. So what has happened is we've actually just booted the device and installed a bunch of benchmarks. And right now we just restarted the device, so we can actually answer your question of memory. So let's just quickly get into the settings and show you guys that. And until then, so there you go. 17.17 GB of storage has been used, and we've actually just installed the apps, some benchmarks and nothing else. So yeah, you can expect that to have been about 4 odd GB that we have installed over and above what was there. And you have 1.5 GB of RAM available, actually 2 GB available of the 3.6 that is there. You can see that out here as is. Now, coming to the dual camera setup, of course, it's a 13 megapixel setup of 2 lenses. You have an RGB and a monochrome lens, and we actually just got the final software this morning for the device. So this is actually the first photo that we have clicked with the depth sensor, and as you can see, I zoom into the image, the subject is in focus and the background is blurred, but that's not the only thing you can do. Is if you want, you can actually have the photo edited and change the blur. So if you don't want the foreground to be in blur, you want the background to be in blur, you can just go into this depth effect app out here, keep it as the original. You can actually just choose one layer to be in color, and as you can see, everything else around goes black and white. Of course, it hasn't happened perfectly in this image, but that is one option. Another thing is, of course, the selective focus. Right now the person in the image is in focus, but if I select on the background goes in focus, and the subject is out of focus. So this is post-processing, which we have seen on a bunch of other devices as well. And also, of course, the ability to select the background, but we don't have any background that's been selected. So that's one image that we had clicked. We've clicked a bunch of other images, but of course that wasn't with the final software out there. So it's a little hard for us to give you a particular judgment on it per se right now. But stay tuned. We will get you some more details of how the dual camera performs once we review it. Okay, so A lot of questions coming in. Let's see how many we can answer. Rahul says, can we hide the navigation panel? So yes, if I click on the home right here, and if I show you this thing called as the Moto app, where you have the Moto actions, and if I enable the one button navigation, you can see that the back home and multitasking buttons have disappeared. What essentially happens is it's all rather taken care of now on the fingerprint sensor. So I tapped on it and it has gone to the home screen. Let's say if I was here on the browser and I wanted to go back, I swiped. This swipe was for multitasking. I swiped the other way and it essentially goes back. So all your functions are taken care of by the home button. So yes, Rahul, you can hide the navigation buttons out there. Yes, Shubham, we were showing you the portrait mode in this camera as well, with that one image where you can control the depth of field and how you can actually control it in post-processing as well, so you don't have to shoot that portrait mode image there and then to be done with it. The price of the phone is 15,999, and Ambuj, I just answered the questions about the camera. So does it support Dolby Atmos? Well, Lakshya, nothing that was mentioned at the event per se, nor do we see Dolby Atmos branding like we've seen on a bunch of Lenovo smartphones. But, you know, Dolby Atmos, when it's given on these phones, is more of something that you can experience through a nice pair of headphones. And it's essentially a software implementation of it. We have seen this on other devices also. If you have a soundbar which says Dolby Atmos, and it can give you that through the headphones out, or even let's say a console like the Xbox One supports Dolby Atmos through headphones. But yeah, this one, no. So yes, Lakshit, like I said, no Dolby Atmos. Yes, Rahul, we can hide the navigation panels. I just showed that. Now you don't have the back home and multitasking buttons. You save that much more display real estate for whatever you want. And it is actually this Moto app that gives you a bunch of cool, nifty tricks. So like I can chop twice to enable the flashlight like we just showed you out here. And there are a bunch of nifty tricks again out here. You can twist for a quick capture. So there, and you know, the camera comes up. So if you are someone that really likes some of these gestures, then it kind of really is fun, because there are a bunch of them out here. You have swipe to shrink the screen, so swipe down on the left or the right to make the screen smaller for one-handed use, so you can actually do that. And here, let's try that one as well. Oops. And there we go. So what about optical image stabilization? No, it doesn't have optical image stabilization. Front flash is available, yes. Let us quickly show you that as well. The flash, let's switch it on, and there you go. That is where the flash is. Hope you guys got a glimpse of that. So yes, sort of, it does have a front-facing flash. Akash, no, it doesn't have a curved display. It is a flat display. It isn't even curved towards the edges. It's absolutely flat. The metal body comes right up to the edge, and the edge is where the glass begins right here. You can see the slim black bezels right here. If I bring it up close here to show it to you, and that is where it is. So no, the display doesn't curve into the body. Yes, Prem, it has a hybrid SIM slot. The single SIM slot is, there's a single SIM slot in slot 1, and the second SIM slot is a hybrid SIM slot where you will have to choose, and it is tucked away nicely on the left of the device right here. Can you test the camera? Well, let's try it once again with a subject in frame for you guys, since so many of you are interested in it. Of course, when it comes to the modes in the camera, you have the Pro mode, which gives you access to a bunch of the settings, be it the white balance, the focus, the ISO, and more. And as you can see, the UI is also pretty nifty here if you guys are interested in going all pro in the modes. You have depth enabled, which is of course what you will use the dual camera for. You have panorama and the regular photo mode. So let's try the depth effect right here. We have a subject. So Devinder is asking the thickness. It's about 8 mm thick. It has the Snapdragon 625. Dinesh, that's the processor. Yes, we are going to give a comparison between the G5 and the G5S Plus. Very soon we are going to come up with that. And here, this is the first time we've actually faced a problem with the camera while focusing, and it's not letting us do anything. So yeah, probably not the most perfect position to have the software on. Let's just quickly change a bunch of things to see what actually affected that, and see if we can get the picture again. There you go. So as you can see, it does take a couple of seconds for the image to process once you have taken the depth image right here. And I'm not sure, we don't have a lot of things in the background to show you exactly how the depth will work, but I will actually show you an image that we did click for depth with details in the background, which is this one. And if I zoom in and see, you can see that the subject is in focus, and it's the background there, the halo poster, the Wi-Fi router back there, which is blurred. And if I decide to edit it with the depth editor, I can select to choose, let's say, the halo poster in the background in focus, and show that to you guys. Now you can see the poster in the background really clearly, and the subject is completely out of focus. So yeah, that is there. Is there any pay option like ATM card payment? Well, you can pay with your ATM card online, like a debit card transaction, if you want, but there is no EMI available on debit card. However, there was news a couple of week or two ago which said that a lot of these online portals like Amazon and Flipkart are considering taking EMI via debit card. So that's maybe something that may happen in the future, but sorry, there's nothing like that exists right now. Well, it weighs a little over 160 odd grams. I can tell you the exact weight in about a second. It's 168 grams, and it doesn't really feel out of the ordinary heavy. It feels like a really well built device. It's got this really nice metal unibody design. We have this gray color, which is simple, but I think it's actually a pretty elegant looking color. It feels a little wide, if that makes sense. Maybe if you've seen a device like the LG Q6, which is got the new 18:9 aspect ratio, so there the display is taller but thinner, but this phone feels a little wide, and it might be great for those two-handed typing sessions because it has a little bit of more width to it. But then again, it's a personal preference of how you like it. So Rahul, hope that answers your question. I have a Moto G5 Plus. Is it better than that? Well, if you have a Moto G5 Plus, essentially the hardware is pretty much the same. It's only the camera which is different, and we will answer that question when we review it. We've barely spent a day with this device, so it's a little too early to answer that question. The price of the device is 15,999. Okay, so you guys want to check out the video mode as well? We can give that to you. Here you have the video mode, and you have a kind of stabilization option out here. And when it you also have the ability to shoot in slow motion there. So you have the bunch of video recording settings out there as well. Amaljeet, hope that answers your question. We showed it to you. Manas, it is a 3000 mAh battery which powers the device. And yes, it does have NFC. Sharman, it does have NFC. Motorola done something to resolve the ghost touching issue which was there on the G4 Plus and the G5 Plus. Well, nothing that we've experienced on this as of now, but if we do come across it, we will definitely let you know. Anirban, for the camera performance in low light, you will have to wait for our review. This is just a first look at the device, so it's really difficult for us to tell you exactly how it performs. But yeah, if there's any features that you want us to show you or check out right here, we can do that. Well, it has 4 GB RAM out of the box, and it was showing me 3 GB plus available. And also, yes, being a device running on Nougat, you can actually see that you can drag a couple of apps and use them in the split screen mode as well. So if I want to use the Chrome browser on the top and let's say open messages at the bottom, this is what it'll look like. So you can run 2 apps simultaneously. Sutapa, the price is a 15,999 for this device. Sorry, yes, it does have NFC. Is it a good quality screen? Well, yeah, it seems so. I mean, it has pretty decent viewing angles for now. It has Gorilla Glass 3 protection, which isn't really Gorilla Glass 5, which is also available. But the touch response is smooth, and from what little time we spent with the device, it's pretty decent. How is it performing while playing Asphalt 8? Well, if the game doesn't request for a download, we can actually show that to you right now as to how it performs. Maybe the beginning level is what you'll be able to see. Okay, so the game doesn't need download, so we'll try to kill two birds with one bush. Some of you are asking for the audio quality, although what you will listen to is essentially what your phone is going to let you listen to, not the actual audio quality of this device, and has a single mono speaker here at the bottom. So let's quickly jump into the game and let's see what it plays like. Oh, as always, you know, the disadvantage of free games, advertisements. That's not bad. Sharman, there's only one storage option with 64 GB available, but it does have expandable storage up to 128 GB as was announced at the launch event. Okay, so here we go with a look at how Asphalt 8 performs, and about 80% volume on the speaker. Hey, that's actually not bad. So yeah, that was actually a quick look at the game, and especially when there are more player cars on screen, it doesn't look like the frame rate dipped or dropped in any way. So yeah. There, and the audio also seems to be fairly decent, at least while playing games. And again, the battle between the Nokia 6 and the Moto G5S Plus is something, again, we will tell you. We will have a comparison video out on this, and we will try to do a comparison live as well. Yes, Orba, it does have a metal body. No, Kaleem, the price isn't 15,999 for a limited period only. It is the price of the phone. Of course, in the future there is a possibility that it'll drop, but as of now, as a launch offer, Motorola does have a bunch of things they are giving away with this. So for example, you get an extra 1,000 rupees off on exchanging your old Moto phone no cost EMI on all credit cards. You can get the Moto Sport headphones with this at an additional cost of 499 instead of 1599, which it is selling at otherwise. And if you love reading books, then you can get 80% off up to 300 rupees maximum on the Kindle app for reading books. And if you're a Jio user, you get 50 GB of additional 4G data. So that is a launch offer, but the price of the phone will remain the same. Yes, of course, it has video recording, and the price is 15,999. So here you go. So when you are recording a video, this is what the UI looks like. And yes, you do have the ability to change the point of focus. And if your hand is going to be shaky, you can just click on this option out here, and it kind of helps with a little bit of stabilization. But that, of course, is something we will take a look at once we have spent a little more time with the device. Yes, you can shoot videos in 4K at 30 FPS on this smartphone, so 4K video recording is there. Okay, so some of you have joined back demanding some samples of the portrait mode, and here is the one that we have been showing. Again, to give you the same example, the subject is in frame, whereas the background, which you can clearly see here, is out of focus. And if I choose to edit it, I can use the depth editor, and I have a bunch of options, which is seeing the original image, selecting a certain portion to be color and everything else to be black and white, or selective focus, which let me just show it to you right here. Let's say if I want this router to be in focus right now, and I'm going to choose that and get the subject to be blurred, that is what it'll look like. Pankaj, it's a 5.5-inch 1080p display, so that's the display and that's the resolution. How to show battery percentage? Well, that's actually a pretty good question. Let's see if it is something that is there in the settings that we can change, although it does show you the percentage in the battery settings itself, and there isn't an option here. However, there is actually a way of doing it. We will just figure that out and post it out here in the comment section in a while. Yes, we will compare it with the Nokia 6 for all you guys that are asking. Just give us some time. This phone was launched today. We got it today. We thought we'll give you a first look at it, and we will get you those comparisons soon. Yes, you do have expandable storage up to 128 GB via a micro SD card, and no AK Ravi as of right now. Yes, the phone will get warm. It is a little warm under the camera out here, but nothing that's out of the ordinary. And we haven't even been using it much. So right now, no heating issues. But yes, considering it's a metal back, you should be able to feel some heat if you are a heavy user. Yes, this phone does have an headphones jack. It's right here on the top, and at the bottom you can see the single speaker grill, and it has a micro USB port out here, not USB Type-C. And Motorola says it does support fast charging. You can charge the phone for about 6 hours of use in 15 minutes. That's what Motorola is claiming. And on the left here, you can see a microphone. That is the placement of the ports. On the right, you have the power button and the volume rocker. And on the left here, you have the tray, which houses the dual SIM. Dual SIM slots are here in this tray, and the second SIM slot is a hybrid slot. It's a dual SIM phone. Yes, Raghav, it is a hybrid SIM slot. So this phone, Raghav, will be available starting tonight at midnight exclusively on Amazon.in. And AK Ravi, you want to see a slow-mo sample? Well, let's see if we can actually get you a slow-mo sample from the camera, although there is no object that we can throw to, get the slow-mo in action, but let's see. Okay, slow-mo. Karta. Wave your hand real fast. Faster.
My laptop's falling.
Okay, let's see if that worked as a slow-mo video right here. Okay, so there you go. You saw the beginning being the original speed, and this is the slow-mo speed, and there is a slight bit of blur in the tip of the fingers happening out here, but it's not bad considering it was a really low lit situation as well. So yeah, we will check out the slow-mo camera in more detail and get you some more samples. Until I answer a few more questions, you can see our beloved Karta waving his hands in slow motion on the camera. So the rear is a dual 13 megapixel cameras, and the front is an 8 megapixel camera. Dinesh, hope that answers your question. The CPU is the Snapdragon 625 SoC, and the battery is 3000 mAh. Yes, it is dual SIM, where the second SIM is a hybrid slot. Yes, Suri, Moto says it will be upgradable to Android 8 as and when it is available. No, Ishwat, it is not a USB Type-C port. It is a micro USB port. So that is a bummer. For those of you that are asking whether it's available offline, it will be available at Moto hubs. Moto hub is available in quite a few cities. It is here in Delhi NCR, for example, at select malls. So yes, if you have a Moto hub in a mall near in the city where you live, then it should be available offline out there. No AK-Rai, it does not have an IR blaster. Yes, it does have a front flash, and in case you're someone that has just joined us, we will quickly show that to you. Again, whoopsie. Here we go. We switch to the front-facing camera. The flash is on, and there you go. That is the flash. No, Vineet, there is no other GB capacity. It's only available in 4 GB RAM and 64 GB of storage. Well, considering the OnePlus 3T is priced way above this, almost twice as much, do you really want to compare it to that? Well, we will definitely take a look at that request and try it out. Yes, it does have OTG support. This is the Moto G5S Plus. Yes, Stephen, it does have 4K recording, and Mehul, the benchmark scores is something that we're going to run on it tonight, and you should definitely see that in our review when that is out in the next coming days. And for those of you that are asking about the OS, it's Android 7.1.1, and yes, it will be upgradable to the next OS as and when Motorola makes that available. Suri, yes, it does have expandable storage up to 128 GB via a micro SD card. How is it better than the Moto G5 Plus? Well, the internal hardwares are the same. It just has more storage, and of course the camera at the back and the front has been upgraded, and of course the size of the display. That is the difference on paper. So Vineet is asking, what do you feel about the phone? Well, I feel that it's quite a well-built phone considering its price point. It's got a nice metal body. The camera is something that we really have to check out. And for every otherworldly performance, be it texting or doing a little bit of social networking or YouTubing, I haven't had a problem so far. Another cool thing is once you get a notification, for example, like this one, and the screen is off and you see the little clock out here, you'll see the notifications as these little dots which you can actually press and pull up, and you'll get to see them in slight more detail, and then you can choose to reply to the message, for example. So if I had a bunch of notifications, I could have shown you that, but unfortunately that's not there. No, Vishal, the battery is non-removable. It has kind of a unibody design, so it's all metal at the back up to the sides, and then you feel the display, so there's no way the back is removable, no way the battery is removable. No, if you have a Moto G5 Plus, I don't think you should upgrade to this one. The Moto G5 Plus is barely a few months old, not even 6 months old. So yeah, if you guys have the Moto G5 Plus, you can stick to that and maybe go for the next iteration, which will come out next year. So let's see if we have a bunch of more questions. Well, most of you guys are asking now the same questions all over and over and over again. So I guess I will end this live session right here. Thank you so much for joining us. We will have a video and a review of this phone available soon. You just saw this live, and if you want to look at a quick look at the features, well, Lalit, no, it doesn't have Dolby Atmosphere nor Dolby Atmos. So yeah. No, it isn't waterproof. Yes, it does support fast charging. Yeah, Suri, that's actually kind of makes sense. It is a pretty reasonable phone in 2017, but how it performs against other phones around the 15K price point is something that we will take a look. Nonetheless, thank you so much, guys, for joining us on this live session. We will catch you in another one. It's goodbye for now, and for more coverage, not only on this Moto G5S Plus, but any other phone or anything that's related with technology under the sun, you can stay tuned to digit.in. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us. We will catch you in another live session. It's goodbye.